our roadmap at the moment is so well populated with lots of changes going into next year that Joe, our product guy, is like, every time he sees one of us, I think he wants to hide. But Joe's a great guy. And we're taking that vision, what's on the roadmap, and we're trying to do what's right, keeping in mind that the top 20 pharma are important, but also the biotechs are really important. So it's trying to get that mix that you're trying to cater to the industry and what the needs are, and not one specific customer. Because if we let one specific customer dictate where they want to go, then it mightn't be great for biotechs, or it mightn't be great for the top 20 pharma. So it's a balancing act. But I would say, and I know it's a bit of a vague answer, Don, anything financial in the clinical trial, we want to be involved in it. And I think then also, partnerships are really important to us as well. So we realize that as much as we want to build everything, sometimes we can't build everything. So there is, we're trying to build an ecosystem of partners out there that can support in different areas. So whether it be ECOA, whatever it might be, ePro rather, like whatever it might be, we want to partner with those best-in-class providers as well to kind of create that village ecosystem of terms of best-in-class technologies to partner up against. So I think we have a very open mind in terms of where we're going, and that's one of the reasons why I joined Greenfire. Is it's like we're like that salmon going upriver. We're trying to find our way.
Yeah, I also hear though in a lot of your answers, and I know you've apologized a few times for hey, look, you're passionate about different areas of this, but I also hear a very strong balance between like, here's how we're going to apply the technology, but we also want our clients and patient experience to be kind of touched in a certain way. How does Greenfire approach balancing that technological innovation and maintaining a focus as well on the patient experience?
Okay, well, that's an interesting question, Don, because I think it's how we approach our customers, and I think it's the ability to listen. I think, and this starts with the very start when you inquire on our website around site payments, Don, at your company, right? And then our sales development rep gets in touch with you. It's the very start of the journey. It's being able to listen, right? And to understand what's important to each sponsor and what's important to the CRO. And that's one thing I love about my job is no project is the same. So I approach it that it's interesting. I want to hear what the people have to say. And then we do it. Sometimes if you're not the fit, you have to say that. But if you hear what the problem is and you can offer a solution that is relevant to the person that you're speaking to, then we're talking to that person and we're hearing their problems and we're going to try fix that problem. A bugbear I would have is pitching. I can't stand it. Like you pitch. Right. Think about that. No one likes being pitched to. No. People want to be listened to. And, as a balance of being listened to and then using the great team that we have here at Greenfire and then understanding what the problem is to focus in. And on a daily basis, I would work with solution consultants who are really, really good. We work with the product team. We work with program management in terms of setting the right expectation for what an implementation is going to look like. So I think it's all about listening to the customer, but also at the same time, you got to set the expectation.
Yeah.
No one likes claims being made, right? Because claims become a mess. And we waste valuable time on cleaning up a mess. So I'd rather be more in our approach is to being able to listen, to understand what the challenges are. And then we guide through our experience in 8 years in site payments and 12 years in patient reimbursement about what the best way forward is. So I would like to think that we're a technology company, but we're also a solution provider. It's not just the technology, it's the approach. And, to ask the customer, what do you think is best for you? That for me is really, that's why I love my job, Don. One of the reasons is like the different conversations and it's being able to listen to understand what's going to match. I think that's what makes the day go faster and like enjoyable. Yeah,
absolutely. The next few questions focus in on you. So the first question is, what's the greatest leadership advice that you've ever received?
Yeah, I've got loads of advice for that over the years. I'm getting older now, so I've heard a few. I think I'll be really transparent about, I think, where my tipping point was in my career. And I think that's when I left Salesforce. I think I made a decision when I was walking into Viva. I was going to be myself. And I think you shouldn't have a different mask for work and a different mask for outside. And maybe this is common sense to everybody, but I'm just talking about to myself. I always felt that before I made that decision, that I was always comparing myself to what I perceived to be best. So therefore, I was always really self-critical. But I will be self-critical still in this role. We can always learn. I'm always messing up. It's how you mess up and how you fix it. So I think being yourself is the best leadership advice I got, because it rang home. Because ever since I've made that decision, I enjoy my work so much better.
Yeah.
And I don't have to think. So maybe that's really common sense to you, Don, but to me, it was kind of a light bulb moment that happened in my late 30s. I'm really embarrassed to say that, but yeah, it did take me a while.
Yeah, I think I think I've used this analogy before in previous podcasts. So I used to run a lot. I can't run anymore, but really enjoyed running outside. And at one point, I got into marathons. Really enjoyed running marathons and half marathons. And one of the things I learned from one of the running coaches that I had was essentially about matching pace. So essentially, your stride is your stride. That you can't really, change it that much. You can modify it for a period of time. But if you think about it, running alongside somebody, if you try to match footfall for footfall with somebody for a while, you can do it. But over time, you're going to go back to your natural pace and run at your natural pace. And that's whenever I hear this example of, people modifying the way that they are at work and things like that, and not being their genuine selves. I know we can do it for a period of time, but I don't know how you would do it, for a great length of time. And I think we all sort of get exhausted with, okay, so I can't do this, forever. So I have to go back to who I am.
Absolutely, Don. So we're building the team at the moment, and a critical question for me is well, it's more a statement than a question. And it's we need to understand if Greenfire is a good fit for you, because I think we have to be fair to people, right? Because we run at an unbelievable pace here. There is pressure, but it's good pressure, I have to say. In terms of the pressure lies with me, and it's up to me to make what I want to do with it, that entrepreneurial spirit I was talking about. And I kind of probably take that, not personally, but I'd put a lot of weight on the responsibility for that, and I'd be very proud of it. But not everybody's going to feel the same as me about it, So, you have to understand that you're trying to, set the right expectations. And I don't expect that from people on our teams, but, I think we're always trying to do the right thing, which you see that a lot on a lot of company value, they're company value things, and do the right thing. Of course you do the right thing. Why wouldn't you do the right thing? It reminds me actually, Donald, when I worked in Israel years ago, and we were doing a bid defense in this beautiful high tower. And I, working in Israel for maybe 6 months, I had been there 6 times, but I'm Irish, so I talk differently, say, to other countries. So we let in things I remember saying, as we came to the negotiation part, I used the phrase, "I'll be honest with you now," which Irish people use all the time, right? And the people at the opposite side of the table, or around the table, were saying, "You're only being honest with us now?" So, and I was trying to backtrack, trying to explain that it's a colloquialism or whatever. But I think doing the right thing is that shouldn't be a company value. I think that's a rubbish company value. Of course you do the right thing. It's expected. When you sign the piece of paper, it's do the right thing. So I think those kind of, I think that's really important in terms of, what I live by.
So important.
So important. But being yourself is number one, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. What inspires you?
Oh, that's a big question.